We have reached the end of a sputtering and tepid introductory season for Coach Kevin Nyland, an introductory regular season, I should say, with the Patriot League's decision on how to seed teams up in the air based on the recent cancellation of the Holy Cross Colgate game. Boston University simultaneously has nothing and all of it to play for today against the only team in the division worse than them, boasting an 0-3 record. Army takes the field on Nickerson against the Terriers. Armand Manukin here, of course, with Riley Villiers.
Hello. Welcome to another great day for soccer. A beautiful day.
Absolutely. We've only commentated beautiful days for soccer, sunny Saturdays.
They should have us commentate all the games because then it will be a beautiful day. There's correlation.
That is exactly the point that we're trying to make here. Mark Rora taking the field, starting against Army. Boston University, since their opening win against Colgate with a determinate 3-0 scoreline, has not won a game. They've had 2 cancellations and 2 losses against Lafayette in the very last minute and against Holy Cross. So not the best form, but they're here against, again, the only team worse than them in the division. As Army kicks off facing the Charles River, a long boot sent straight to Peter Cogbo, who knees it out for a throw-in at the edge of the box for Army. What is Army's mascot? Is it just the Army? What is the Army's mascot? I'm unfamiliar.
I can't make the joke I was going to make.
Okay. Army throwing it in?
The Black Knights.
Makes sense. Thrown to the byline, headed into the box. Josh Suarez uses it, and an early chance saved by Matt Stone, the captain. Another shot in, and it's going over for a corner kick. Army, strong start here.
Very strong start. I think both teams right now are down. They've team has had the season they wanted to. Both teams have struggled with lack of play because of COVID, injuries, etc. I think both teams right now are looking to hit hard and fast.
Getting ready for the corner taken by Oscar Pereira, Army's leading scorer. That's a low ball fizzed in, finds itself to the top of the box. Army's still with it on the left-hand corner of Boston University's box. A cross sent in and collected by captain and senior goalkeeper Matt Stone. Boston University trying to play it out the back. Ian Rosen flicks it over to the chest of Mark Brewer, who collects it and switches sides over here. Peter Cogbo, seemingly playing as a right back, which is not his normal position, to captain and senior Zion Balogun. Plays it down the line to Andrew Rent. Boston University making good inroads so far, but it's gone out for a throw-in right at the byline of Army. They were able to move the ball very quickly up here. It's on the left-hand side. The throw will be taken by number 3, Nick Atkinson of Army. Throws it down the line to the chest of an Army player. Zion Balogun collects it, flicks it up. It's headed into the crowd. Florian Ryder boots it, and it's out for another Army throw-in this way, about 30 yards up near the halfway circle. Atkinson again with a throw-in down the line, long throw to Army's forwards, but João Soares de Souza collects. It's booted upfield by Army's number 12, Christian Takaki, and goalkeeper Matt Stone collects it for Boston University. Matt Stone called into action early with a point-blank save from 6-yard line. Pulls it out, sends it long towards Ronaldo Marshall, and loses out on his header. Scramble in the middle to get it now. Nice flick by Army, playing well so far. It's number 8. That is Coleman Kim, sends it out wide. But the referee has deemed an offside call for Army, so Boston University will have a free kick 20 yards above the edge of their box. It will be taken by number 22.
And a short ball, a bad touch, and ball is still in play. A lot of air balls right now. Both teams work on settling down and just getting into it.
Peter Cogbo sprays it out wide to Zion Balogun, who gets around his defender. Zion Balogun into the box. Ball to Ronaldo Marshall, it's a goal! Boston University, in the first bit of the game, their first shot on target, Ronaldo Marshall careens over to the corner flag. Boston University 1, Army 0.
And that was just a beautiful play, some beautiful build-up right there. And while it might have been sloppy in the midfield, they were able to get the result they wanted.
Zion Balogun skipped past a couple defenders, got into the box, sent a ball at around the mid-level, and Ronaldo Marshall was able to finish it into the top of the net with his right boot. And I'm sure that the Boston University fans who have been relegated to what West Campus residents call the bakery because they're not officially allowed to watch the games within Nickerson Field are going crazy. Ronaldo Marshall made a beeline for them after he scored his goal. Boston University, after a scary start and a near goal by Army, are in the lead early on, similar to the Lafayette game, in which they also lost the lead at the last minute. Let's hope that history doesn't repeat itself. And they got Atkinson on the right. And it's a Boston University, it's an Army throw at the halfway point. Nick Atkinson to take it. Sends it long, headed up by Nate Cole, only as far as Coleman Kim. There's Atkinson on the right-hand side around the halfway point. Tries to get it past him, but it's deflected. And Boston University have a chance to break this. Andrew Rent, number 32, with the ball. Plays it down the line of Zion Balogun, who's on his bike. He'll get there just in time. You have to have a one-on-one with the Army player who hits it out for a throw-in around the corner flag. Throw-in conceded by number 6 on Army, Bradley Schweikert. Peter Cogbo will throw it in to Zion Balogun, his fellow senior. Knee out for another Boston University throw-in. Peter Cogbo to take. To the boot of Balogun, back to him. Cogbo tries to get across him, but it's deflected. And it goes out for another Boston University throw-in. At the edge of the box here, Boston University is lingering. Send it back out to their center backs. This is Nate Cole. Florian Ryder, who turns on the half turn but gives the ball away. Army have a chance of breaking now. This is number 2 for Army, Anthony Brown. Scored last week. This is Coleman Kim. Nice half turn around Mark Lura. Sends a long ball into Boston University's box for keeper Matt Stone to Brown.
I think Boston University should be very happy with how they've started this game. Not just because of the goal, but besides that early slip up, they've been maintaining very good possession and just a lot of patience on the pitch right now.
Absolutely. Matt Stone lofts it into Army's half. The ball is in limbo and purgatory as Florian Ryder heads it out wide. Zion Balogun will race to get there. He's backed up. And it's gone out for a Boston University throw. That will be a huge win for Kevin Mallon's team to get a goal so early on and be able to maintain this lead. Peter Cogbo throws it in around the halfway point. Ronaldo Marshall misses the header. Army's captain, number 22, Eric Whiteman, clears. Mark Lura collects. And as far as Coleman Kim, who's been all over the place, Oscar Pereira plays it back to his captain, Eric Whiteman, and Army clears. Headed by Nate Cole. Florian Ryder gets the ball out of his feet to Ethan Rosen, who thinks he was fouled, but refs see nothing doing. It's Kenneth Juan, but in the center back against Lafayette is moved to left back, it seems. And Nate Cole has lost the ball out at the top of the box, and Army have a chance to attack when Peter Cogbo steps in, and Boston University have a chance to clear. But shaky play there by the Boston University center back. Mark Rowe now jabbing in, able to get it to Florian Ryder. That is Andrew Rent, who plays a lovely through ball to Zion Balogun, who's on his bike. Battling it out with Bradley Schweikert. It goes out for an Army throw. Good defense there by Army.
Great defense there by Army. Okay, yeah, hi.
Mark Rura near the top of the box is Ethan Rosen getting his first bit of action on the left-hand side as Kenneth Long makes an overlapping run, but he dips into the right-hand side, tries a shot, it's deflected. It looks like it'll be a Boston University corner kick. Boston University getting joy down the flanks.
Yeah, Boston University is finding a lot of space in between the Army's midfield and defense line. Army doesn't seem to be pressing as well as they should be. And Boston University is just having a lot of room to play right there.
Andrew Rent and Ethan Rosen standing over the corner flag together. Seemingly maybe a short corner play. It's short exactly. Andrew Rent with the ball now in open play. This is Mark Rura at the top of the box. Sweet pass to Ethan Rosen. It's a scramble in the box now. Mark Rura still has it, trying to get a shot off. It's scrambling Army for a clearance. Andrew Rent will pick it up, bring it out to Cogbo in the middle. who sends a reverse long ball to Ethan Rosen. Great touch into the box. He's on the byline. Ronaldo Marshall scrapping for a shot, and it's cleared by Army, but another good chance. Peter Cogbo winning possession back for the Terriers. The Terriers trying to keep Army bottled up in their own half here. Giving the ball away like that won't do much. Coleman Kim now racing up for Army, able to work it out wide. And Army has the man in the box. He slipped, and Kenneth Huang will pick up the ball at the edge of the box and clear it for Boston University. To the boot of Ethan Rosen, who's scrapping over here with number 4 of Army. This is Coleman Kim again. Army with the ball at the halfway point. Left hand touchdown, facing Charleston.
Also, University is really capitalizing on the fact that Army's not trying to play out to that right now. They're not trying to use the midfield almost at all, and really just go for these long balls. Their defense is doing a good job planting.
Ryder clears it out wide, and Eric Whiteman will chase. Scramble there between Army center back Eric Whiteman and their goalkeeper Jacob Seppi. They crash into each other as Seppi clears it for a throw-in. Weird moment there for the Black Knights. Their only 2 wins of this season coming against the same team, the Marine Academy, in a 4-1 and a 1-0 win. They did not beat any Patriot League sides in their season so far. There's some confusion as to an injury. Andrew Rent is down. Came off injured against Lafayette as well. The referee and the Boston University medical team are attending to him. As play has stopped temporarily, when we resume, Peter Cogbo will throw the ball in 10 yards into Army's defending half, facing West Campus. Andrew Rent is up, but he's limping off the field. Dismayed. It looks like Boston University have subbed him off. That's unfortunate for the Rookie of the Week a while back. He's a bright future ahead of him. He's just a freshman, but he's had injury problems. He missed his high school season through an injury, his high school senior season through an injury. He was an All-American junior year, so a lot of potential, but a lot of injury struggles as well. Peter Cogbo to Florian Ryder. Sends it to Kenneth Huang, number 8 for Boston University from Japan. Number 30 has been subbed on, Aiden Holmes, in the place of number 32, Andrew Rent. So he'll play in that number 10 position. Boston University with the ball in the back with Joao Soares this season. To Peter Cogbo, who has picked up an unusual position for him. Usually plays in the middle of the park. He's playing right back today.
Yeah, the midfield is always it's always a tough transition to go from midfield to defense, but you gotta go when you gotta go.
Absolutely. Assuming the injuries have come into play there. Griffin Roach and Ryan Lee not starting today. This is Nick Atkinson for Army throwing the ball in. And cleared towards the halfway circle, headed back out by Army. Ronaldo Marshall will chest the ball down, gets it to Mark Rura, who's a neat half turn, sends it to his German counterpart, Florian Ryder, sends it to Kenneth Huang on the left-hand side. Zayden Holmes, who's just coming getting his first touches, playing it into Ethan Rosen, who sends it back to Kenneth Huang. There's a nice little no-look pass, some flash from the number 8.
Boston University is playing with confidence right now that we haven't seen in any of their games so far. They're playing like a team that's been practicing hard and who's ready for the challenge of taking on.
Their loss against Lafayette came after a week of not being able to practice due to COVID protocols and a couple of players being exposed. They did not have such struggles this week. They were able to get in a bunch of full practices with a full and healthy squad. That's likely why we're seeing them impose themselves in Army.
Yes, and we have some players who were previously injured now kind of back in the play.
Absolutely. George Avenel on the bench was not on the squad for that game. I'm sure he'll be excited to get out here for what might be his last ever game in Nickerson Field as a walk-on sophomore year to a vice captain as a senior. It's a huge step up for the Connecticut native and a good friend of mine. As Joao Soares sticks a leg and stops Oscar Pereira from barreling into the Boston University box. Peter Cogbo heads it to Ryder, who has a lot of space in front of him. Aiden Holmes clearing it out on the left-hand side. He'll get the ball, challenged by Nick Atkinson on the byline. Nearly nutmegs him, but it went out before he gave a touch, so it's an arm throw. Do you think, Riley, that Coach Kevin Allen will be frustrated on the Lafayette game, considering that Lafayette are topping the division, will be the one seed, are undefeated? Boston University had them for a quick moment.
Yes, Boston University had a chance. I'm sure he's upset about that, but you can't think about the past in that way when it comes to soccer. You got to focus on this game here today, and I'm sure he's very happy with the way his Terriers have been.
Absolutely. Boston University does have a chance being seeded in the Patriot League playoffs, depending on what the league decides to do. Now that Holy Cross and Colgate's games have been canceled, Boston University wins, they'll be on level. They'll have a level record with Holy Cross. They just lost to. It was the ref teams as foul. Oscar Pereira, who chucks the ball unsportsmanlike into the Boston University box, did not have to do that.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to kick the ball away. You don't have to chuck it away.
There are 30 minutes left in this half. Time wasting when you're down won't get you anywhere. This is Nate Cole playing it out to Kenneth Wong. He's playing as a left back today. We've seen him as a center back before as well. Ethan Rosen losing out to Coleman Kim, who, if you can say something positive about Army so far, it's been him.
It has been. He's kind of all over the place right now, but in a way that is very threatening and dangerous for the Terriers.
True number 8 of box and box midfielder Nick Atkinson throws the ball in, trying to get Dan Anthony Brown involved. Joel Strauss has some time to clear in the box, but it's deflected. And there's a scramble in the Boston University box now. Dan Anthony sends a cross in. There's a header. Peter Cogbo sends it wide. It's still danger. Cogbo clears again. Zion now. And good interception there by Ronaldo Marshall, scrambling to play a little bit. But Army still have their hands on Boston University's throat. A good touch to the byline. Army's on the byline now. It's almost a goal, but it is not so far. It's been cleared by Ethan Rosen, and there's a foul by an Army player on a Boston University defender. And so the Terriers will make it out of this one unscathed. But worrying signs there.
Yeah, very worrying signs. The Terriers need to be stronger in the box on defense there. They need to be able to come out strong and fast in a way that we're not seeing them scramble. Or in a way that we're not seeing right now. They're scrambling in the box.
Absolutely. It was good play on the byline by Army's number 6, Bradley Schweikert, who's been tasked with defending senior vice captain Zion Balogun of London, England, and was who we lost out to when Zion was able to get a crossing that led to the opening goal by none other than Ronaldo. Lovely name. Should be a striker.
Yeah, very good.
Could you imagine if you were named Ronaldo and played center back? Wouldn't make any sense. Army collects the ball at the halfway point, but cheaply gives it away. Aiden Holmes now playing it to Ethan Rosen, flicks it out. And Kenneth Wong steps in and is able to win a throw in for his side. As Army was barreling down towards him. Kenneth Wong, quick throw to Ethan Rosen, tries to get on the half turn. Beats out Coleman Kim. Great play by Ethan Rosen. Mark Roden now sprays it out wide. Will Balogun be able to reach it? It looks like it's gone off for a throw, unfortunately. Good play there by Rosen, the Canadian native.
No, great play. Good thought there. My coach always used to say, good thought, full execution. So, yeah, just tightening up some of these final passes and tightening up the defensive third is going to be key to keeping this lead and also just going to.
Absolutely. We haven't really seen any forays into Army's box since the opening goal. They're generally well-controlled play by Boston University. So Army has a throw in at the halfway line. Some flick play tried by John Ponce of Army. Ball in the air now. Ronaldo Marshall winning against Army captain Eric Whiteman. Army's far as another Army defender clearing it up into the air. Peter Cogbo tries to head it, but it's deflected. Joao Suarez, this user looked like at the edge of the box. And weird play there by Matt Stone and Joao Suarez de Souza. A miscalculation nearly led to a goal, but it's only going to be an Army throw-in. Weird moment there.
Very weird moment. I'm sure the keeper was calling for it, so I'm not positive why he would send pass back.
There's a shot by Army, but it's skied past the safety nets and got out for a goal kick. Yeah, it seemed like D'Souza panicked there. Matt Stone was coming up to grab the ball, but didn't need the pass. He was going to get there.
Exactly. That's when you just need to
Use your
body right
strength,
there.
absolutely. D'Souza out to Cogbo, plays it out of trouble, but is assailed by three Army players and sends it to Zion Balogun. It's deflected out for Boston University throwing. Cogbo again, down from Sierra Leone, playing in his final potentially game on Nicholson Field as a senior. Came from Dunn, a boarding school in San Barbara, California. Thank you. Riley Villiers, everybody. Ronaldo Marshall chasing down an Army Black Knight. Good press there and a win. Ethan Rosen now barreling. Ronaldo Marshall in on the box. Fell to the ground. Has not appealed for a penalty. Seemed as if Army thought he was, but didn't really ask for anything.
It seemed like a bit of a flop there. Like, I know I'm not going to get to this, so let me go down and see if I can draw something from that. It's not a bad move. It's not a bad move. We all do it sometimes.
He wasn't protesting, to be fair to him. He was not
That's true.
protesting as if to say that was a penalty. As Jacob Sepia of Army, their goalkeeper number 0, will send the ball into orbit with this goal kick. Header won by Mark Rowe, who's been all over the place recently. Ethan Rosen trying it on the right-hand side, usually plays on the left. Some scrambling for the ball there, and Army is not able to find itself. It's gone out for a Boston University run. That was a mistake by Christian Dikaki of Army number 12. Peter Cogbo throws it down the line to Zion Balogun. Zion Balogun chests it out for an Army throw.
It seems like Army has kind of only 1 or 2 people really working in the midfield, and everyone else is being bypassed. So you have to wonder how long they can keep this up.
Absolutely. João Soares D'Souza stopping John Ponce in his tracks there. John Ponce, quick, shifty, good dribbler, but not enough to get past the Brazilian João Soares D'Souza. Playing up top in this system. Mark Rua plays a poor pass back to Peter Cogbo. Just like that, Army has been gifted possession in Boston University's defending third. Number 3 for Army, Nick Atkinson will take it. Scramble in the box here, but Kenneth Huang is able to clear it with that big left boot of his. Ronaldo Marshall trying to fight for the ball here. John Eaton heading it. Good play here. Neat play by D'Anthony Brown of Army into the attacking third. Stopped by Nate Cole, cleared by Kenneth Huang for an Army throw, and 20 yards away from Boston University's goal. That will be taken by D'Anthony Brown.
I'm sure Kenneth Wong would like a redo on that here.
There's a little stuff. Jake Burgess is back to goal with the ball. Tries to send a low cross, and Nate Cole steps in, sends it to the head of Ethan Rosen. It's cleared by Mark Roa, going as far as Eric Whiteman, captain for the Army Black Knights. Plays it to John Ethan. Bradley Schweikert. Not bad. That's John Ethan. Nick Atkinson cutting in on his right foot and sending the long ball to the bottom middle back for a Boston University goal kick.
The Terriers seem to be lacking possession right now. They're not able to find the rhythm at the moment. They were probably in the first half of the game. But the Army's really turning it on, just a pure change of speed and intensity.
Matt Stone to take this. He was out a couple of games due to injury, but is back. For those of you who have decided to watch this game as opposed to the El Clasico, it's 2-1 in the 71st minute to Real Madrid. In case you were wondering. Kenneth Huang, big touch on his left boot, but he's able to clear it before he loses that possession. For an Army center back, John Eden chase it, sends it back to his captain, Eric Whiteman. He's a defender. He's one of the leading scorers for Army. They haven't gotten many goals this season. Good press by the Terriers leads to, an Army throw. I thought that would deflect it off an Army Black Knight, but apparently deflected off the Terrier. Anthony Brown would take it, shifty, quick right back. Good play there. Coleman Kim will be able to collect the ball here. Has some time to pick a pass. Finds Bradley Schweikert. Back to Kim. Good dummy there. Schweikert collects it. Good dummy by Oscar Pero. Army's leading scorer. Good play here by Army. Peter Cogbo steps in with that big boot of his. Sends it out for a throw. Take my Army's name.
Very good play there by Army. The Terriers are not pressing high enough right now. They're giving Army way too much space. The same mistake Army was making earlier with the Terriers. defense.
Oscar Pereira now with the ball. Missing time to pick a pass, but it's weighted a little too heavy. And it goes out for another goal kick for Boston University. Well, Boston University's goal came through a bit of individual brilliance. Zion Baldwin was able to shift past his marker to get the cross in. What do they need to do to get the second?
They need to start finding rhythm again. They need to start doing tight, small passes. We saw during Lafayette game that they were doing a very good job playing out of the back, even though that game didn't end up being the result they wanted. I think they need to go back to that simple basic soccer.
Jake Burgess getting into the Boston University box. He's on the byline here, sends a cross into Matt Stone. He's able to get in the way of it and any potential Army heads that would have headed it in. Take his time here, setting up his defense. Mark Rohr is down. It's the second Boston University player who's been asked, sat down, walking, laboring off the pitch, taking a seat in the Boston University medical team system. Unfortunate, Mark Rohr has been a bright spot in Boston University's play so far. Good midfield worker, good hustler for the Terriers.
That was a nice little cross off the line, but just right into that.
Too close for the keeper. We're waiting to see Mark Rohr is slowly but surely making his way off the pitch in Boston University in their second sub due to injury in the first half already, which is unfortunate for Kevin Allen's men.
Yeah, this is absolutely unfortunate. This is not what the Terriers want to have happening right now. You never want to set someone to injury. And especially two players in a row who you have to question, the fitness of your team.
Particularly in the midfield, Mark Rohr and Andrew Rentu have both been asked to sub out due to injury. Where in the midfield, Miles DeKaiko coming in for Aura.
Well, the Terriers have been playing in pretty neutral weather. Like, it's been nice days, but it's been colder. Today's the first day of actual heat. It's in the 70s, so you have to wonder what's actually happening.
I'm sure it is. It's always difficult to play in this kind of weather. Ethan Rosen picks it up. Sent it to Zion Baldwin. On his bike, he'll beat Nick Atkinson in this race, trying to find a cross, and it's cleared by Atkinson. That looked like a corner kick, but they've given a goal kick. I don't agree with that call.
I also don't agree with that call. I also believe it's a corner. It looks like the center ref might have thought it was also a corner, but they're going with goal kick.
Weird officiating here. Maybe something is afoot. Perhaps. I'm sure the Boston University Ultras in the bakery were protesting that call as well.
I'm sure they were. Zion's got some speed on him.
Zion does have some speed on him, the London native. Shares the same name as the player in Arsenal's youth academy, also based in London. I thought they were related for a while.
Shares the same first name as a basketball player.
Zion Williamson, exactly. One of the many seniors on this team, potentially playing the last game at Nickerson Field. Some quick press. Ronaldo Marshall will come out on Jacob Sepia. He's calling out for the rest of his team to press, and Sepia clears it. Anthony Brown is able to take a good touch, pick it out of the air, but he runs into Aiden Holmes, who's done a good job since Andrew Rent came off. But obviously, Andrew Rent, such an imposing player, such a classic number 10. It's hard to fill those boots. Kenneth Wong with a cheap giveaway at the halfway line to Army. They're barreling down into the box now. This is Oscar Pereira with the ball cutting onto his right foot, flicking it back out here. Army trying to get the cross in. Stopped by Peter Cogbo, who's doing an excellent job defending today.
Peter Cogbo is on his A game today. Absolutely stellar.
Ronaldo Marshall with the afterburners here, closing out on Sepia, who finds John Eden.
See, Armand, look how much space there is there. The midfield is just staying way too deep
Absolutely.
for the amount of press that the strikers want to do.
Nate Cole able to get it clear. Kenneth Wong stepping in before Jake Burgess can get his toes on it. It'll be Boston University throwing. Press is difficult because Ronaldo Marshall can't press on his own.
No, exactly.
It needs to be a team thing. It needs to be fully committed.
Exactly. So when Marshall's going up for that press, his team needs to follow him. Otherwise, he's just wasting everything.
Absolutely. Nate Cole clear here. Florian Ryder will try to win the header against Jake Burgess, but he loses out. Miles DeKaiko getting his first touch here to collect the ball, straight out to Joao Soares. This is the center back, got some time on the ball. Picks out a long ball for Zion, again on his bike. And a weird miscommunication there between Eric Whiteman and his goalkeeper. The theme of the day seems to be center backs and goalkeepers not getting along very well.
Yeah, there seems to be some weird communication issues on the field. Maybe they've gotten vaccinated to let the face.
Fantastic joke, Emily.
Thank you. I'm here for the jokes, save the soccer.
Boom. Miles DeKeiko getting a touch here. Peter Cogbo. DeKeiko try to get a ball in. Instead, he opts out. Sends the ball back to D'Souza. Try to get some possession here as all of Army is behind the ball. Kenneth Long ball into Ronaldo Marshall, just over his head, but it's still a scramble in the box. DeKeiko playing with the ball at the edge of the byline, gets past Schweikert, but only temporarily as Schweikert clears. Nate Cole able to keep it in and away from Jake Bergen's impressive play there, but Aiden Holmes is not able to find the Boston University body. DeAnthony Brown tries to spin around Aiden Holmes, but it does not work. Ethan Rosen, quick little flick, only as far as Eric Whiteman, who clears it. Nate Cole here, pressed by Joey Hudson of Army. Kenneth Long to Aiden Holmes on the left-hand touchline, and they'll go out for a Boston University throw-in in Army's defending third.
Good press right here. Not great connection, but really good defensive press rate or offensive press rate.
Keeping the opposition penned into their own area.
Yes.
Ethan Rosen has the ball bounce over him, and DeAnthony Brown lets it run for the goal kick. Unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate. But again, I'm sure the Terriers, that's the kind of press that the Terriers need to do. And I'm sure that they are happy with what this. It's going to be about maintaining that.
A substitution for Army, number 20, getting on the pitch here. Did not play in the most recent game, which is why I don't have him on my roster. Number 20, Epitome, has subbed in for the Army Black Knights. I don't. I have no way of knowing. John Ethan sprays it out wide to DeAnthony Brown. Skips past Aiden Holmes. And Bradley Schweikert clears it up. And Kenneth Long is toppled the substitute over in his first bit of action. Epitome thinks he was fouled. The referee disagrees.
I also think he was fouled. Everyone can know too hard in that
stuff. Zion Bogdan wins the header over Nick Atkinson, but goes out for a throw. I would love to see the statistics for height between these two teams. Army seems much more stocky and short.
Yeah,
than Boston University.
The Terriers as a whole are a very tall team.
Absolutely. Ronaldo Marshall, Ethan Rosen himself is a relatively lanky. Zion Balogun got some long legs on him. Maybe they might try to get the ball in the air in the battle.
Yeah, it seems like Army right now is the one trying to play the air balls, but they are often losing them.
Hoffman has also subbed in for the Army Black Knights, making their first two changes of the game. They seemingly are tactical changes as opposed to Boston University, who's been forced to make two substitutions due to injuries to Mark Laura and Andrew Rent. Aiden Holmes gives the ball away. One of the substitutes came on. This is Nate Cole. To Ryder. To D'Souza. Out wide to Peter Cogbo, pressed by Oscar Pereira. Back to D'Souza. Opts to go long. Ethan Rosen is not able to latch onto it. Ball in the midfield now. Ryder bullying Hoffman off the ball. And Cole is able to clear. Hoffman winning the header over Ryder this time around. Peter Cogbo collecting. Being chased by Epitome. Atkinson heads out for a Boston University throw. Raleigh, 15 minutes left in this half. Does Boston University try to get a second? Do they try to impose a count? Do they try to keep the ball? What's the game plan for Kevin Allen's now?
Well, I think right now they absolutely cannot let another goal in. However, they absolutely cannot let a goal in. However, they're in a good position right now. They're pressing hard. While they have had a few mistakes in the back, I think the Terriers are being pretty dominating. So I would go for another goal. I don't think you can settle for one.
They'll have a chance here, a free kick in a beautiful crossing position on the right-hand side, 30 yards out or so. Obviously too far for a shot, but Ethan Rosen will try to swing this in, get some beefy foreheads on the ball and get a second goal for the Terriers.
A little back post action.
A little back post action. That's what you're supposed to do with these kind of goals.
They are, yeah. Set it up. If you have people who can get the ball in the air, get them to the back post. Get ahead on that.
If you aim for the back post on stuff like this with an in-swinger, if nobody touches it, no go.
It will, yeah.
Will this be the right boot of Ethan Rosen, however? Might be running something from the training ground. Ethan Rosen swings it in. Little scramble at the near post, but eventually goes out for a goal kick. Seemingly a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it's always rough to let those go by. I'm not quite sure if the ball was supposed to be on the ground there. But if you are trying to send the ball on the ground, it needs to be hard and fast, and that was just a little too bouncy.
Jacob Sepia will take his goal kick. And it's time as well. As he hoofs it towards the halfway line. Ball's allowed to bounce a couple times. And a first entry for number 25, George Abenow, a senior, off an injury, getting his first couple minutes of the season.
Woo! Go George!
Go George! Kenneth Huang galloping up. George Abenow crashing the box. Looks like he'll play up top. I think Ronaldo Marshall has come off for him. Big choice there by Kevin Donovan.
Big choice. Hopefully Marshall is all good. It wasn't an injury-based thing. But excited to see what George can bring.
Absolutely. Kenneth Huang throws it in. It's headed clear by Army. Florian Ryder pops it into there. Peter Cogbo sprays it out to Epitome. Aiden Holmes tries to win it up, and Kenneth Huang will get another chance. Send a cross in. It's a good ball, but it's over everyone's head, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
The Terriers are keeping the ball, though, in Army's defensive third. This is what you want. You want the more opportunities you give yourself to score, the more likely you are to actually score. It's a silly thing, but the more shots you put on net, you want to make sure that you just keep putting shots on net.
Absolutely. If you knock on the door, Jacob Sepia gears up to take another goal kick of his. Army not playing out from the back at all, letting their second ball chances dominate their aerial strategy here. But it's gone out straight for another Boston University throw-in. Army keeping themselves in the hole here by giving the ball away so cheaply. As our camera shakes slightly, probably in anticipation of an imminent George Abenow goal.
He's ready for it.
Camera's
ready for it.
Zion Balogun heads it only as far as an Army defender. Good play there. Very neat play by Jake Burgess. This is Eric Whiteman. Coleman Kim. Back to his goalkeeper, Jacob Sepia. Takes a heavy touch. Plays it back. Somehow finds Bradley Schweiker, although that pass did not seem targeted. Some good pattern play by Army here. Some of the best of the half. Coleman Kim, again, marshalling the midfield, but it runs out of play. Bradley Schweiker will be disappointed in himself for that mistake. As Peter Cogbo will get ready to play the ball.
I want to watch the keepers. Who has the better keeper jersey?
They're both wearing greens. Jacob Sepia and more neon green. I like Matt Stone's jersey.
I do. I like the dark green.
I like how dark it is. Exactly. It doesn't, forest green, not something we associate with our university, really in any way, shape, or form.
Hey, the Irish.
Okay. Fine.
But you're right. We're red. Crimson.
Peter Cogbo will throw the ball in the 18-yard box. It's headed up by Ethan Rosen to the chest of George Abenow, able to wrestle off a couple Army defenders. It loses out to Hoffman. Plays it. It's Epitome trying to get in. Nate Cole very neatly steps in ahead of him. Finds Florian. Good touch there by Zion Balogun, only as far as Coleman Kim finds Nick Atkinson on the byline here. But Nick Atkinson, in his sweet move to get past Zion Balogun, was deemed to have dribbled out of bounds and would be a Boston University throw in. Peter Cogbo to take. Zion Balogun loses out on his header. Oscar Pereira. Coleman Kim now at the halfway line sends a long ball down the line to Dustin Hoffman, who will chase it with Joao Suarez and Souza. But D'Souza is fortunate to see it go out for a goal kick.
Leon.
Herrera Leon.
Yeah, 'cause his name's Herrera.
Very nice.
It's a little callback. That's what we call it in comedy.
Nice. Matt Stone taking the goal kick. Another one of the many Terrier seniors potentially playing the last game on Nickerson Field. Nate Cole now with the ball, playing as a left center back. Having time to dribble, sends a long ball down the byline, but a roll out harmlessly for a throw in.
Armand, do you remember the last game of your senior year?
Yeah. Regular season or playoffs?
The last game you played.
Yeah. Of course I do. It's when Peter Cogbo beat me in playoffs. State playoffs.
I cried at the last game. Maybe we'll see some tears.
Potentially. Hopefully of joy.
Hopefully of joy.
Boston University holds on to a lead from a very early goal. Aiden Holmes getting some good pressure on Hoffman there. But Army recollecting, if you're just joining us, Ronaldo Marshall is Boston University's goal scorer of the day. Scored very early on in the game, following a cross by Zion Balogun.
Looks like a high kick there.
Absolutely, by number 7, Atef Sikazwe, who has come on for the Black Knights. Some early substitutions, Army using the depth that they have. Nate Cole pushing up into the Army half as a center back. Abenow trying to flick it onto Ethan Rosen, but he's unsuccessful. Resumes his defensive responsibilities, puts a body on Coleman Kim, but Coleman Kim is able to find D'Anthony Brown. Himself finds Hoffman, clips it up for Army to chase. Joey Hickson chasing it.
Abenow's coming out with the fire of a senior who has not played his last couple of games. He is ready to defend.
You want to make the most of his moments, playing in the stead of the goal scorer. Some big shoots for Ronaldo Marshall, such an imposing center forward. Really an old school center forward.
Yes, very traditional. Very much his goal is scoring.
Physical, fox to the box type. Abenow, almost a renovated center forward, did not play there in high school or in the various club competitions he played. He was a center mid. Modeled his game after Paul Pogba, was one of his favorite players of all time in Manchester United. Very neat passer, good touch on him, but is not a center forward by trade.
No, he's not. But I only find it really interesting when mids become forwards because it's a very different style of play that they end up doing.
As someone who transitioned from being a box-to-box center midfielder to a winger in my later playing days, a lot of cool alleviated responsibility there as Army make it to Boston University's box, but Opinion loses out to Nate Cole. It's Coleman Kim now with the ball and everywhere for Army. Good play. Hoffman at the top of the box gets a shot, but it's gone right over Matt Stone's crossbar. Referees see the deflection. And Army have corner kick, only their second of the game.
And their first corner kick was very dangerous for the Terriers. It was a moment they almost scored. So the Terriers are going to make sure. It looks like they're doing a man-to-man marking style. So everyone's got to follow their man into the box and just crash it.
Following the Terriers' unfortunate last-minute loss to Lafayette, as Hoffman gets ready to send the ball into the box with his right foot instead of being outswinger. Goes over everybody, totally overhit, out for a throw, and the Terriers will thank themselves. I spoke to, again, my good friend George Abenow following the Lafayette last-minute loss, and he said the entire team was disappointed in their inability to defend set pieces then. So I'm sure that they had some extra practice on doing so. But again, the first corner kick that Army had was dangerous. This one not so much.
Yeah, set pieces are tough to defend. I remember when I played outside mid, particularly center mid. Center D. It was always nice to be able to be on the post because I mean you didn't have to track a player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tracking a player is always the hardest, especially when a player's taller than you.
Yeah.
But I think the Terriers as a whole have kind of settled in a little bit more, even though that first play was wrong.
Another neat turn by Army's number 12 is Christian Takaki. Matt Stone picks it up. The last 4.5 minutes of this half to be played out on Nickerson Field. Boston University facing West Campus. They're shooting at Charles River. In the second half, Kenneth Blanc clips the ball, finds Abenow, he gets to DK for Abenau. It's on his bike, calling for the ball. Zion Balogun finds him. Tries to dummy it. As Abenau, it's slid up by Jacob Sapia, but great play by the senior.
Great play, great speed. Just overall, a very excited performance there.
Seemingly dummied the ball to himself. It looked like he had missed it, but he knew exactly what he was doing. He's able to get around Whiteman by letting the ball run past him. But he's calling for the ball. He's hungry. That was a very neat play. Unfortunately, he was very soon to find a Boston University player as the corner kick is headed back out, and the referee has deemed it a foul on the Boston University players. Army will have a goal. Free kick in their own box.
Also, the Terriers currently have the sun in their eyes.
Mhm.
So starting the second half, the Terriers will no longer have the sun in their eyes.
Boston did make a substitution. Syracuse is coming, not the college, but the player, number 18, fitting in there. Coming for Ethan Rosen, it seems. They do not announce their substitutions the same way professionals do, so sometimes it's hard to keep track.
Yeah, and on that.
Okay. Peter Cogwell to take one of the many throws he's taken this half, slotting into that right back position effortlessly. There is also a center mid to wing back pipeline.
There is a center mid to wing back pipeline.
And
that
the other
was
way
my
around as
pipeline.
well.
I originally was a center mid very early in my days, played outside deep for a very long time, and then transitioned to center deep the last little bit of my play time.
Hoffman trying to get some joy in Boston University's box, but he's stopped by about 4 Terriers, if I can count correctly. The wing back to center midfield pipeline runs deep in the professional world as well. Joshua Kimmich and Peter Lahm of Bayern Munich have both done that very admirably in their own playing days, as well as David Alaba. Bayern Munich really is doing that a lot for some reason, now that I think about it. Dustin Hoffman, again, not Dustin Hoffman. Nate Cole clears it to Aiden Holmes, who flicks it onto Abenau, wrestles off Coleman, finds Holmes. Good play there, but
Sloppy touch.
bad first touch by Syracuse, who want to get the ball back, and he's pressing like he wants it. But Schweiker is able to find Atkinson on the Army's left-hand side. Oscar Pereira trying to get past Zion Balogun and Peter Cogwell very neatly. But he very recently learned that it's very difficult to get past those two. Very solid right hand for Kevin Nyland's men. Abenau now with the ball. Quick pass to Zion Balogun. Has some time. Tries to find Abenau back, but it goes so far as Eric Whiteman clears it. Army will have some time. Hoffman, cute little slide pass to Atef Sakagwe, who has a one-on-one with Nate Cole. Will go for the shot himself, and unfortunately did not see the wide-open John Ponce in his left-hand side. It's gone out for a corner kick. The referee's deemed a deflection in his scuffed shot. But some good play by Atef Sakagwe.
Yes, very good play by Army right here. This is the exact position the Terriers saw themselves in Lafayette. End of the half, less than a minute left, corner kick. The Terriers are going to want to make sure they do everything in their power not to let this in.
Hoffman clips it in, finds an Army player at the back post, but Peter Cogwell is able to clear it, be able to avoid the curse of the last-minute goal in the first half. Schweiker clears it to Captain Whiteman, but Captain Whiteman lets it run out for a Boston University throw. And Peter Cogwell will again, in the last 30 seconds of this half, we're nearing closure. Boston University able to hold on to their lead, seemingly go into halftime with their last regular season game 1-0 up against the 0-3 Patriot League last place team. It's a free kick to end the half for Boston University. Take it from about 40-yard line to Anthony Brown. And it's halftime. Boston University going into halftime leading. Kevin Allen will be happy but not satisfied. We'll be back soon with the second half. Boston University 1, Army 0. We are back with second half kickoff. Boston University will be kicking without the sun on their eyes for the second half, protecting their lead while shooting towards the Charles River. Ethan Rosen will kick the ball off. Ronaldo Marshall is back on the field. Aiden Holmes has remained on, as have some of the other substitutes. Peter Cogbo sending it long to Ronaldo Marshall, getting his first touch of the second half, only as far as Bradley Schweikert, but it's poked from underneath him. Zion Balogun, quick play to Miles DeKeiko. Boston University already at the edge of the box, start of the second half, but Eric Whiteman clears it towards the halfway line. D'Souza loses out the header to Joey Hickson, number 15 for Army. This is Kenneth Huang, left-hand side. Ball is played into the top of the box, but Eric Whiteman is there to collect it. The shape remains unchanged for the Terriers. Ethan Rosen, Zion Balogun, and Ronaldo Marshall make up the front three. Miles DeKeiko in the midfield with Florian Ryder and Aiden Holmes. And in the back, Peter Cogbo. On the right-hand side, Joao Suarez D'Souza, Nate Cole, and Kenneth Huang. As Army make their first foray into the box, Epitome sends a ball on, but it's collected by keeper Matt Stone. Takes his time as Boston University regroup. Army keeping their substitutes on from the end of the second half. Riley, what do you want to see from Boston University as the second half begins?
Neither team last half developed a rhythm. They had moments where they were very cohesive, but overall, neither team was able to establish dominance on the pitch. For the Terriers this half, that's what they need to come out and do. It's not necessarily about coming out hard and fast, which they do need, but it's also about making sure that every pass is connecting to the feet that they want it to be connected to.
Absolutely. Miles DeKeiko tries to win a header. He's committed a foul in the process. So it'd be an Army free kick right at the halfway line.
Looks like he got a bit of an elbow to the face in the process, too.
Unfortunate. Anthony Brown fizzes it down the line to Oscar Pereira, number 10. Playing with the ball in the way he loves to. Tries to find Coleman Kim. A couple bounces, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
Sports are funny. It's all a bunch of little rules that we all just abide to.
Every athlete is just some guy.
Or some woman.
Well, I mean, every woman is just some guy. Everyone's just kind of some guy, you know?
Everyone is some guy.
Kenneth Long will take this free kick around the center circle on the left-hand side. Gives it away very cheaply to Oscar Pereira. Barreling into the center of the field. Plays it out wide to Nick Atkinson. Plays it into the feet of Joao Suarez D'Souza, who hoofs it clear across the pitch for a Boston University, for an Army throw. So Eaton with the ball to Eric Wyman. Eric Wyman again finds Epitome, who was subbed on with about 15 minutes left to play in that first half. Excuse me. Boston University deflects a pass to Keiko, clips it over Oscar Pereira's head only as far as Coleman Kim gives it to Hoffman, finds Schweikert. Schweikert here with some room to maneuver. And Hickson runs straight into Nate Cole. Epitome has a knock on his feet because of a collision with Florian Ryder, but Florian Ryder is up healthy end with the ball, able to find Ronaldo. Back to Ryder. Tries to meg Hoffman. Doesn't work, but Ronaldo has the ball now. Tries to deflect it off Hoffman, and he's lucky he gets a throw-in for the Terriers. Peter Cogbo will resume his throw-in taking role, as he did so often in the first half. Or maybe not. Maybe it is. Some confusion there about whether or not it was a free kick as opposed to a throwing, but it was a throw, and Peter Cogbo takes it. Tries to find Ronaldo, but Army collect. Eaton with the ball now. Oscar Pereira at the halfway line. Anthony Brown barreling down the right-hand side, but not able to find him. Cogbo loses the ball to Hoffman, who finds Epitome. Epitome is fouled by Cogbo, and Boston University conceded a free kick in their defensive third, dead on center.
Yeah, dangerous spot for a free kick.
Absolutely, very hard to defend this. But Army has to get the ball absolutely right.
Yes, and the
Because
Terriers.
otherwise, it's just catching practice.
Exactly, and the Terriers have good height on Army.
Absolutely. Oscar Pereira standing over the ball, hands on hips.
Did you know anyone who went to West Point?
No, but I think my dad reached that goal.
Really?
Pereira clips the ball dead on center, but again, the weight is wrong, and that's it. I didn't pick it up. My father, for some reason, never thought I would be the CIA.
Interesting. Did you give him that impression?
No.
Oh.
It's a dream he had for me.
Your dad just watched Criminal Minds and was like, yo, I'm sick of my son doing this.
He was en route to be hired by the FBI before the hiring freeze during the Clinton administration. So
Interesting.
That was a dream of his, I suppose.
So he Troy Bolton projected it onto you.
Yeah, not in anything anyway, but not less good.
Yeah.
D'Anthony. This is true. D'Anthony Brown throwing it in. Oscar Pereira setting it up for Dustin Hoffman to chase, battling with Miles DeKeiko. D'Souza will have to clear this from his own box. I think he does. Ronaldo Marshall being marshaled off the ball by Eaton. Whiteman finds Atkinson, who dribbles past Zion Balogun and sends a shot into Schweikert's thigh. Schweikert trips Ryder, has fouled him, is late with that challenge. Just didn't seem like he was playing the ball in any way, shape, or form. Just kind of kicked Florian to the ground.
Took his legs out from under him there.
Kenneth Long losing out. The Boston University backline still, despite a few changes from the last game, all international. Or not all international, excuse me, all from different countries. Peter Cogbo from Sierra Leone, Joao Soares de Souza from Brazil, Nate Cole from the United States, and Kenneth Long from Japan. Army, All-American, because it's the Army. Coleman Kim sends a long ball. Oscar Pereira is on his bike. It's gone out for another Army corner kick. Excuse me, that was Joey Hickson on his bike.
Looking at the benches, I'm sure the Terriers are happy to have a deeper bench this week.
Absolutely. Players coming back from injury, players coming out of quarantine. Oscar Pereira will take West Point's corner kick. It's an outswinger. Scramble in the box. It's clear to the top. Hoffman will have a go. It's deflected by Cogbo. Now Atkinson sends the ball with his right foot. Joao Soares scuffs the clearance. The ball is in the air now. D'Souza wins the header. Balogun tries to clear it, and at the end of it all, Matt Stone has the ball in his hands.
You know, I didn't even think about the international student population at West Point, and I just looked it up. Fun fact for our listeners: only 60 international students are allowed to train at West Point at any given time. They put a cap on it.
Interesting. And if they're international, I'm assuming they have to serve following the graduation.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, that's the whole point of West Point.
Yeah. Matt Stone taking his time. I believe there's been a stoppage of play because this is more than the allotted 5 seconds. Zion Balogun now down for the Terriers. This third Boston University Terrier who's taken a seat on the pitch from injury. And Boston University's medical staff signaling to Coach Kevin Nyland he needs to be sent back. So it's Andrew Rent, Mark Rora, and now Zion Balogun. In the last regular season game, coming to a full stop during their games because of an injury. Unfortunate for the Terriers.
Yeah, very unfortunate. This is a huge loss for the Terriers too. Yes.
Zion is a leader in the locker room on the pitch. He's a vice captain. He's a senior. So this could be his last game on the field. And like this, unfortunately. He's able to get up, thankfully, but he's limping slowly off the tall Londoner, taking the rest of the afternoon to heal. We hope that he does. We hope Zion has a recovery from whatever this he'll need to do his right leg. See who will replace him shortly. A lot of these Terriers, Gianluca Arloti, one of them, not in gear. He's probably injured for the game. So we're seeing number 18 is Syracuse, who came in very briefly at the end of the first half, coming back on to replace Zion, who will pick up that right midfield spot for the Terriers.
Well, white cleats are the way to go. You can't handle the heat. Step into white cleats.
I also wear black cleats. I'm black cleats back. I don't know.
They're smooth. They're traditional.
I think there's an uncanny value for very colorful cleats. You're either really good or you're really bad.
Yeah. I just don't like the color cleats because I think that a lot of cleats don't look good. The color cleats tend to be like very stylized, whereas like black cleats tend to be like
The classics. Stone resumes play by moving the ball into Army's half. Header sent backward by the defender. Atkinson sent it forwards. And Hickson takes a touch, but Dikaiko is able to get it all the way up into He's on his bike. Stone comes out and clears a near scare off a couple of deflections and passes. Good half turn there to get away from Ethan Holmes, who's pressing. Kenneth Wong now controls the ball. It's deflected off for Boston versus throw-in.
Well, you have some attachment to Army. As we said before, your nickname's Army, and you're from Army.
Wow. Sure. Yeah, let's go with that. Florian Ryder collects, fizzes it out to Peter Pogba. It's a long ball, but it's deflected by Epitome, who has done some great work since coming on midway through the first half. D'Souza finds Cole, touches it onto his left foot, finds Wong. His touch almost led to an Army throw. It stayed in. He clears for Army. Wong wins the header over number 11, Carter Kowalski, who has just come on. Matt Stone with the ball now. Nate Cole sends it out to Kwong, who clips it into the air first time. Header stopping one by Ronaldo Marshall only as far as Eric Whiteman. A touch here on Coleman Kim. He finds Hoffman, who's also done a great job since coming in. Anthony Brown racing away from Aiden Holmes, and he's fouled.
Holmes seems to be struggling there on that left side for the Terriers a little bit. Just some errant touches right now.
Anthony Brown will take this free kick. The quick right back. Never mind. Coleman Kim takes it short to Anthony Brown. Skips past Ethan Rosen. Finds Hoffman. Hoffman to Joey Hickson. Referee stopped for a minute to seemingly raise his flag. Elects against it. Some weird play there by the assistant referee, but Peter Pogba was able to clear it. Atkinson throws the ball in. Finds Epitome's head. It's back in the air. Chested down by Bradley Schweikert. Another high kick attempt there. The referee is deemed it a foul.
Yeah, I gasped a little bit on that one. Whenever I see someone's foot go up near someone's as someone who has been cleaned in the face, it is not fun.
Matt Stone will come out of his box and take this free kick right outside Boston City's spot. Matt Stone sends it up long towards Syracuse. Tried to get a touch on to Dikaiko. Peter Cogbo doing a great job marshalling Epitome there. Hoffman clips it off of Dikaiko's legs. That's Coleman Kim with a lovely reverse pass to Hoffman. Plays it down the line to Joey Hickson. Joey Hickson's racing on it. He'll have to beat up Joe Suarez. This was a one-on-one, but he was offside. So it'll be a Boston University free kick. A couple yards above the injury box. D'Souza takes it quickly to Matt Stone. Back to D'Souza. Brazilian having some time on the ball. Opts to go long to Ronaldo Marshall. Clatters into Eric Whiteman. It's clipped into the middle to Bradley Schweikert to Hoffman. Excuse me, not Schweikert. Kowalski. Finds Hickson.
Some good play here.
Absolutely. But Dikaiko is able to step in before it gets to only for the Terriers, and D'Souza clears it out for an Army throw.
The Army's really finding a rhythm right now. That's going to make the Terriers really nervous.
Epitome. Taken off the ball by Ethan Rosen, who tries to skip past Lightman. He does a very good job defending and keeping the ball in play. But Ethan Rosen wins it back, slides, goes to the ground, is a bit late, and has been deemed a foul by the referee. Ethan Rosen protesting, but he was just a minute, half second late into the challenge. And Army will have a set piece on the left-hand side. Hitting your shoes are untied.
Epitome, SOS, if you are listening, your shoes are untied. Are the boys at the bakery listening?
I don't think they are. They're watching. The left boot of Kowalski to swing this into the box. And it's gone out for a corner kick. The corner kick on the left-hand side. Taken quickly by Kowalski to Epitome. Finds Coleman. Does a couple fakes, shimmies, finds Epitome in the box. And Peter Cogwell is able to take it off his feet before he gets a shot off. This is Bradley Schweiker.
Schweiker, I barely know her.
Nick Atkinson beats the Susan on the line, clips it into the ball. Nearly a stunning goal by Joey Hickson, who caught it off the volley, falling away from goal, but it just went slightly over the crossbar. It was a good opportunity for Army. Hickson, that's his last touch for a minute. He's coming off for Army. Unfortunately, that his last touch could not have been a goal.
Yeah, good opportunity for Army. Scary moment for the Terriers. A little bit of lazy defending there.
Nate Cole is struggling here to play out the back as Boston University want to do because he is a right-footed center back playing on the left-hand side. Army playing some bouncy ball before Florian Wright was able to clear it out, but Epitome was able to collect the ball here. And for Joey Hickson, number 17, John Ponce is checked in. So he'll be Army's man going forward here on out.
The Army has absolutely dominated this half so far. The Terriers have seen barely any time from Army's defensive third, while the majority of the time has been Army pressing hard toward the Terriers' goal. For our listeners who can't see us, which is all of you, Armand has put on his clout goggles.
They're not clout goggles. Florian Ryder finds Ronaldo Marshall. He's back to goal. Has been fouled. Whoa. Cheeky play there by Dustin. Okay, not Dustin. It's D. Hoffman. I don't know what his first name is. It's bothered. Peter Cogwell with the ball.
Dustin Hoffman is also.
Is this true? Tycho finds Cogwell. It's gone out, though.
Shower Lights isn't responding. Please check its network connection and power supply.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the consequences of Alexaing your whole home.
Yeah, that was a little black news here.
Peter Cogwell hoofs it to Florian Ryder, who steps over Hoffman as they try to find the ball. Coleman collects it, finds Epitome on the left-hand side. It's a cross and only as far as D'Souza. It's Coleman out, working on the top of the box, clipping the ball in, headed out by Cole. Hoffman out. The neat turn. Falls into some issues, running into Syracuse. But again, all Army so far. We've played 15 minutes of this half.
Yeah, even the Terriers' clearances aren't going to their own team, but going right back to Army. A lot of kickball right now from the Terriers. Just sloppy play that also seems very tired.
Jacob Sepia gets his first touches of the half, to send it back for an Army throw-in. Some stoppages again as some substitutions take place. Army throws the ball in. some scuttled play, and now John Ponce with some time on the ball. Tries to step past Cole and goes out for a throw, and he takes it quickly. Finds Burgess. It's Ponce again. Quick feet to get around Holmes. But only as far as, by God, Zion Balogun is back in the game. Worked off the injury he was subbed off for nearly 10 minutes ago. He's back. That's good news for the Terriers.
That's really good news for the Terriers. They were struggling in the middle there, so hopefully Zion can bring some routine steadiness back to the pitch.
Army is still controlling possession so far in this second half. Coleman has dropped deep into his half to pick it up. Sends it back out to Ponce with some room to run it to Souza, but Souza stops him dead in his tracks. Peter Cogbo can run onto the ball here. He's pressed by Atkinson. Atkinson does a good job of deflecting that clearance. Ponce this time lets a shot loose, but it's blocked by Cole. He's calling for a handball. The ref sees nothing doing. Hoffman collecting the ball. This is D'Anthony Brown. Has some room, clips it into the ball. And it was nearly, again, a lovely goal by Army. They're coming very, very close. The ball was clipped in by D'Anthony Brown, headed over the bar by winger Jake Burgess, and Boston University look to see another day.
Yeah, the Terriers keep this up. It does seem like Army will be getting the ball back from them, which, again, is not what the Terriers want. So right now they really need to focus on just establishing the rhythm, playing out of the back, finding the feet of their strikers, and hopefully getting some attack in their attack.
Huang clears it up the line. Holmes will challenge here. Ronaldo Marshall, poor touch, taken off his feet by Riley Schweiker. Ronaldo Marshall and Schweiker getting into it there. I'm sure tempos are flaring by Ronaldo, who has not had a lot of action. But he's stepping up his press. Going on, Eric Whiteman is trying to get the ball clear. Nick Atkinson now. Ryan Williamson closing in on him. Not Zion Williamson, obviously. Carter Kalewski on the side with Peter Cogbo, floats it in. Catching practice for Peter Madstone.
Zion Williamson, he infiltrates everything he did.
It's always on the mind. Cole plays it to Huang, who megs his opponent somehow, seemingly accidentally, and then sends a ball into nowhere. Jacob Sapia be able to collect for Army in the box.
First half was the story of Army playing kickball. Second half is the story of Boston U playing kickball. I haven't seen the Terriers try to build up momentum for an attack out of their defensive third all game. It's all been send.
Absolutely. No stoppage in play here. Trying to figure out what's going on. Clock's still ticking, but time on the spot. Another Boston Bristol player is down, this time with his left back, Kenneth Huang. The Boston University medical team has signaled to the defensive field that can be the substitution. The rest of the Terriers are discussing the game plan going forward with the halfway circle, trying to figure out a way to get out of the funk that they found themselves in early in the second half. Huang is limping off. It seems that that left foot is following him.
Good sign though that he's able to put pressure on it.
Absolutely. You see, he steps in for the center back, turn left back. Boston University struggling with injuries all season. We'll see who is coming on. Kenneth Huang, who Kevin Allen has chosen to pick up the left back. Their starting left back, their preferred left back, is Gianluca Arlotti, off injury for the game today. Big fan of him.
Big fan of him.
You get better call. Jacob Sapia is able to resume play here. We're seeing number 23 for Boston University take the pitch. That is, it's Kevin Lockville, bringing some energy, quickly pressing Whiteman. He's taken up position alongside Ronaldo Marshall up top, pressuring the goalkeeper into an errant clearance. Perhaps Kevin Nyland has shifted formations.
I believe he has.
3 at the back.
I think it is 3 back now.
We'll have 3 at the back, seemingly might change as the game goes on. Peter Cockbo, the back with Joao Suarez de Souza and Nate Cole. Florian Ryder in the middle. As Lockbiller gets his first bit of action, wrestled out of the ball for an Army. Yeah.
Now, 3 in the back might seem risky considering that Army has been pressing all game. However, I would say with the Terriers, or all half, but what I would say the Terriers have been struggling with is that middle connection.
Mhm.
So bringing another person into the mid, bringing another person up top will hopefully help them press more and higher.
But Army have a chance to break now. Long ball sent to Kowalewski, who's able to get to it. Excuse me, Jake Burgess, but he's wrestled off the ball with by Joao Suarez de Souza. Does a great job preventing a throw-in. Clips it long, only as far as Eric Whiteman. And I think that the calculated change to 3 at the back from Nyland makes sense considering that Boston University's, Army's threat isn't coming from the wide areas. It's coming from the middle.
It's coming straight down the middle.
So flooding that might work as
Yes.
opposed to having wing backs.
Exactly, and hopefully that's where you can start to build your pattern plays out, get some connection going. Is through that boosted midfield.
Peter Cogwell will take a free kick right on the sideline for the Terriers. Sends it to center back, Nate Cole. Flicked on by Aiden Holmes to nobody, and it's cleared out for a Boston University ground. It's playing on the left-hand side. It's Miles DeKeiko is shifted out to the left. But yeah, see how Peter Cogbo is taking a more central position as opposed to the majority of the game staying out wide. So perhaps that we were correct about the back shift. Jacob Sepia with the ball in his own box now, the Army goalkeeper, clears it towards their left-hand side. Cogbo wins out against Kowalewski. Sends a lofting ball to Nate Cole, sends it back to his captain, keeper Matt Stone. Clears it with that big, gorgeous left foot of his. Headed back out by Army. But Ethan Rosen now has the ball, loses out, and it's a foul on Rosen again. Doesn't understand how it's been called on him after a tussle with one of Army's more active players, number 6, Bradley Schweiker. He receives the ball right now and turns to find Nick Atkinson. Atkinson back to Eric Whiteman. Ball's intercepted. Lockbiller intercepts the goalkeeper's clearance, and he can run at the open goal now, but unfortunately Eric Whiteman is able to clear it. Good press there.
Good press, good recovery defense from Army. Bad mistake by the keeper.
Mm-hmm. And so far, based on the amount of energy he's brought into this otherwise deflated second half for Boston University, Lockbiller, good choice by Coach Kevin Allen to come on for the injured Kenneth Long. Army clears it only as far as Peter Cogbo picks the ball up in a more central position than he's been seeing all game. He is a center midfielder by trade.
Do you think instead of watching tape, West Point instead, it's like this is kind of the hard war before the game?
No.
Do they approach playing with military strategy?
I'm sure it helps. I'm sure it helps with the team discipline. Do you think that they're exempt from a lot of Army training exercises because they have to do this?
No, I don't think it's like high school sports.
Hmm.
I'm sure. I'm sure they probably have to do a lot of training. So I'm sure they're in very good shape. They seem to be in very good shape.
Very,
so far this
very
year.
stocky, all of them very muscular. Kowalewski throws it. It's intercepted by Cole. I show frustration from Army's number 10 top scorer, Oscar Pereira. So Boston University substitutes warming up on the sideline. But look how many players are out to injury. 7 or 8.
I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like Army would be really into a pool party. Like, they seem like due to like how we lost that at a pool party with like dominoes.
Okay. I don't even. Good flick on there by Kowalewski as Anthony Brown has some room to run. Tries to send it to number 17, John Ponce, but it's cleared out for an Army throw-in. Perhaps Army will, following this game, use the lovely weather to have a pool party.
Yeah, I don't know. I could just like picture all of them hanging out.
You're just catching a vibe.
Yeah.
Throw into the edge of the box here. John Ponce, who wafts it out for a Boston University throw and trying to find D'Anthony Brown one over his head.
Looks like a few Terriers are warming up on the sideline too.
Ronald Marshall trying to win a header, but it's sent back towards Boston University goal by Luke Doyle, one of their defenders. Just come in. Matt Stone sending his team up, saying go up. I'm going to send this one long. And he does so. Great left boot. Headed directly into the air twice. 3 times now. The ball is remaining in the air. Some fight being shown by Luke Doyle of Army.
And Ronaldo's upset because he thought that was a foul.
Now, John Ponce has some room to run, collects the ball, finds Oscar Pereira, who's in a good position in the box. Matt Stone comes out, Peter Cogbo clears. Very, very close to an open net for John Ponce, who taking up a good position around the penalty spot, but the ball fell to Peter Cogbo, sent that one for an Army throw. A dangerous moment there for the Terriers.
Very, very dangerous. If West Point had more people in the box, that would have been a goal. A very good defense from Cogbo, like cutting off that angle and getting the ball clear as fast as possible.
Another stoppage in play here. The clock ticks on towards what would be Boston University's second victory of the season. Pereira, some mild protest. He thinks his arm was pulled, but the ref sees nothing doing. D'Anthony Brown, the one throwing the ball in for Army once play resumes, but substitutions are being made. It looks like Ethan Rosen just jogged off. We take a break on this hot April spring day in Beantown.
I always hated doing the warm-ups on the side as a player. Like,
You just want to go in.
I just want to go in.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I sprinting right now?
I can sprint on the
Yeah, I
field.
can sprint on the pitch. I get why you do it. I get why you do it. But it was always so frustrating. And I could just be like, okay, I'm going to do like 3 sprints. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I want it. Kevin Nolan with his joggers. Okay, coach.
honestly, the crop joggers are a look.
Play resumes. Oscar Pereira finds himself in the Boston University byline. There's a shot on goal by Carter Kowalewski, but it's too weak, and Matt Stone has a relatively easy job stopping it. Sending his team up again. High and long by Stone around the halfway point. Keiko rising up for it, but Coleman is the one who heads it to Army. We're really getting into a groove here. It's Joey Hickson who's back in. Oscar Pereira skipping away from a couple Terriers now. There's Coleman. He's able to find D'Anthony Brown making that run on the right-hand side. He clips the ball into the box. Stone rises up for it. He's able to grab it authoritatively in the box. Looks like Peter Cogbo stopped running and grabbed the back of his heel. Might be another injury issue for the Terriers. But Matt Stone continues playing by lofting it into the halfway circle. It's gone out for an Army throw.
Looks like Nylon wasn't happy with that at all. He wanted Stone to play short.
Substitution for Army, number 7, Atef Sikazwe coming in for, looks like, trying to spot the number on his back. Turn around live. Won't get to see it. Number 11, Carter Kowalewski had a couple of chances. Did not make the most of them. We also have number 12, Christian Takaki, back on the pitch for West Point. So Nick Atkinson with the ball sends it long, and it's not going to find anybody. It'll go out for a Boston University goal kick. Interesting to see here whether they will play short or not. They do play short. So Kevin Allen getting his wish, as you suggested, Riley. Peter Cogbo on the right-hand side here, playing it back to D'Souza, who clears it long. Headers 1, number 23, Lockviller. Ronaldo Marshall with the press back on. Ball to Eric Whiteman, who clears it, following a pass from his goalkeeper. Flicked on with the back of his head is Nick Atkinson. Finds his captain, Eric Whiteman. To John Eaton. Goes it to D'Anthony Brown, who's stopped in his tracks by Aiden Holmes, but it's only going to go as far as an Army throw. Looks like George Abenel is getting some instructions on the touchline by a coach. We'll see his reintroduction to the game shortly, I assume. But at this point in time, Riley, do you take Ronaldo off? You know how important he can be. All he needs is one chance, and he'll put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, but we haven't seen him play this half very much at all. Ronaldo has not been able to have many touches on the ball, isn't really winning too much up there. I think George, who is trained as a midfielder, who knows how to come back for that ball, could be very valuable up at the top.
We'll see if it is Ronaldo for George. We don't know exactly yet, but George's penny is off. Boston University is still playing. Nate Cole finds Florian Riders for the entirety of the game. Lockviller's pass is cut off, but some good press by him and Rosen. Arby is able to keep hold of the ball. It's D'Anthony Brown. Intercepted by Cole. This is Rosen again. Finds Marshall. Marshall skips around Atef to Florian. Sends a long ball. Seems a little too heavy, and it was. Went straight to Jacob Supia. Will not let it go out for a goal kick. He picks it up with his hands instead. Supia hoofs it into Boston University's half. The ball is won by Boston University. Ethan Rosen plays it to Zion Balogun, who tries to turn away from Sikagwe. Still Balogun being dribbled out for a goal kick, for a throw-in at the halfway point. Nick Atkinson will take it. But we're stopping for a substitution. It looks like this will be the one. George Abenel coming in. Nick Atkinson coming off for Army, being replaced by number 11, Carter Kowalski. So a defender off for an attacker, Army going for it in the last 13 minutes. Yes. Abenel on as well for the Terriers. We'll see shortly who Abenel came on for. Army with the ball. Zion Balogun intercepts it. Florian Ryder now. Loses out to number 12, Christian Takaki. But now Ronaldo on. So they kept Ronaldo on with Abenel. It looks like Ethan Rosen with the ball. So we'll see who came off. Might have been Lockviller. This Cole finds Takaiko, but the pass is a little too long. Yeah, it's Lockviller.
Abenel and Ronaldo, a dangerous attacking duo.
Absolutely. Ethan Rosen. This is Oscar Pereira trying to get past Florian Ryder with the help of Atef Sikagwe. He's able to keep the ball. It's Bradley Schweikert back to Atef. Some time on it. Takaki now. Coleman. Atef. Plays it back to Schweikert. Sends it to his center back, number 5, Luke Doyle. Oscar Pereira getting to the byline, clipping it in, but it's gone out for an Army corner kick. And Army, 10 minutes left, knocking on the door here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the exact, again, position the Terriers saw themselves in toward the end of the half, giving up a lot of free kick opportunities to Army. It's a dangerous place to be because at the end of the game, you're tired. You don't want to have to defend this.
Kowalski will take it with his left foot, so it'll be an in-swinger. Boston University has everybody in the box. And there's a scramble. Matt Stone tried to get it, wasn't able to, and it's gone out for another corner kick. This one will be taken by the right foot of Oscar Pereira. Santos has an inswing. Low socks on Pereira.
I was gonna say
Style-
Teddy shin guards.
Style move.
You know, they say Teddy shin guards those socks.
Oh, off the crossbar, but it was a foul anyway. Luke Doyle, Army's aggressive center back, was placed right in front of Boston University keeper Matt Stone as if to distract him. There was some pushing and shoving as Matt Stone reached up to grab the ball, and it was deemed a foul on West Point. So Boston University will have a free kick within their own box. As you can see here, Luke Doyle, assigned to get in the way of Matt Stone, blocks his path without playing the ball. That is a foul.
Yeah, you cannot guard the keeper like that.
Keepers are very
unfortunately.
protected.
Yes.
Into the last 10 minutes of the second half, Boston University still have the lead based on one of their only shots on target in the 5th minute of play by Ronaldo Marshall. This is Carter Kowalewski for the West Point Black Knights. Avenel pressing on Coleman, but Coleman is able to get out of it. Finds Atef. Atef stepped in by Peter Kagwas. Hoffman now poked out from under him by Zeinberg.
Army moving very slow for being down right now. And 9 minutes is a lot of time to play in soccer.
Atef Chicago was just subbed off, and the ball's gone out for a Boston University throw-in right at the corner flag. Peter Congo will take a throw-in. Top of the box here with Army, Joey Hickson. Some protest for a handball. The ref sees nothing doing. The ball is cleared towards Army's back line, and it's headed back to Jacob Sapia. Picks it up with his hands, sends it back out to Eric Weidman.
Interior's slow to press, giving Army a lot of space in their half.
I don't think they're going to press. Great run here by D'Anthony Brown. And is he fouled by Cole? He is right at the edge of the box. Army is a very dangerous opportunity to score against the Terriers. That is a yellow card for Cole. Anthony Brown totally blindsided him. He tripped him right at the edge.
This is always such a scary position to be. He's lucky that it wasn't in the box and that he's not getting a penalty kick right now. But right at the edge of the box, it's hard to defend. It's a hard one to defend because you're basically on top of the keeper.
Surely they'll try to go for a curler with the left foot.
Are they going for a shot, do you think, or are they
Absolutely.
going for a header?
Absolutely. There's the box. Looks like it'll be the left foot of Carter Kowalewski. Oh, what a goal that was. Army equalized over the wall into the near side of Matt Stone's goal, and Boston University find themselves 1-1 with 7.5 minutes left to save their season. What a free kick that was.
An absurdly good free kick. There's nothing stopping that. Perfect placement right to the right corner for Army. Absolutely beautiful goal.
See one more time here. Through the wall, it seems, not over. There's a hole in the Boston University wall. They'll be mad about that one. Again, defending set pieces is a little different than defending a cross that's coming in, but it's a set piece that went in. Kevin Allen will not be happy about that. Or about the second half in general.
Yeah, especially about the second half in general. The Terriers just have had zero momentum, zero rhythm in the second half. They've really let Army control the game.
Gallagher into Cogbo, but it's a tough one for him to control. It goes over Ryder's boot. Avenel comes in to collect it. A bit of a stud up. I thought the referee was going to call it a foul, but he doesn't either way. Boston University gives the ball away to Kim Coleman, who's been able to run around the pitch as much as he'd like. Number 15 for Army, Joey Hickson on the byline here, getting around Peter Cogbo on his right. Finds Coleman at the top of the box, has another go, and it's into the gloves of Matt Stone, gratefully.
And so I'm telling his team to get wide. He's trying to play out the back.
D'Souza fakes out Joe Hickson. Weak pass there by Rosen, but Boston University able to survive.
The Terriers pushing forward for one of the first times this happened.
DeKuyko dribbling in circles here, trying to find Aiden Holmes, but he's not able to. Now Army have a chance of breaking. And if anybody looks likely to score, it's Army again. But Matt Stewart has the ball in his gloves and will try to take as much time off the clock as he probably can here. Gives the Joao Suarez to Souza. Cogbo sends it long, only to the chest of Hoffman. This is 15 Joey Hickson receiving the ball from John Ponce, but he's offside. It'll be a Boston University free kick.
Yeah, Army's Terriers, the energy is definitely shifted in this game. The Terriers are definitely looking down right now. It's been this way all half, but you would think after a goal, the Terriers would want to come out fast to try to get ahead again. And it seems very low energy on the pitch from them.
Ethan Rosen dropped deep to get that ball. Florian Ryder gives the ball away. Terriers just look disorganized.
They do. They look out of shape right now, not necessarily physically, but like their actual shape. There's just kind of like chaos on the field for them.
Chaotic energy. Peter Cogbo will take this throw in with 4 3/4 of a minute left in the last game of the regular season in this truncated Patriot League divided into 2 divisions so as to mitigate COVID-19. Playing in the pandemic, they're playing with masks on, quote unquote. What's the other relations? Matt Stone clears it to DeKuyko, goes down on his back. DeKuyko hits it out for a lot of Terriers playing out of position.
A lot of Terriers playing in different positions, and you would have to assume that's because of the injuries they've had and just needing to fill the holes where they can. But that has definitely also contributed to kind of the disorganized, chaotic play we've seen from them this half.
Ronaldo Marshall doing well to get away from D'Anthony Brown's pressure. This is Matt Stone. Floats it out wide to Cogbo. Just missed by Joey Hickson. Joey Hickson is on Cogbo's heels. This is Abenow. His pass is deflected out for a Boston University throw. It's in Army's half. The ball has gone out on the opposite side of the pitch for an Army throw-in.
If I'm the Terriers, I'm trying to get shots on net right now. Not just because I want to win, but the sun is straight in the keeper's eyes.
It'd be difficult to argue that Jacob Sabia has been accurately tested today.
It would be hard to argue that.
Not many shots on target from the Terriers apart from that one goal. Another Terrier down injured. Ethan Rosen stretching out his legs. It seems it is Nate Cole, center back, who conceded the foul that led to the equalizing free kick, holding his hamstring on his left hand boot. Left hand boot. That's great phrasing. Cole is helped out by the Boston University medical staff, but he too will have to be subbed off. The current theme for today has been injuries.
Yeah, I think that speaks a little bit to the fitness of the team. It's a lot of muscle injuries. Those typically come from, lack of practice, dehydration, just generally not taking care of yourself.
We will resume play shortly here. Abenow trying to hype up his team, trying to get going. The vice captain, walk on, who's not scouted as a high schooler. He's going to play at a very competitive club level in Connecticut. He tried out for the team after being on the club team for a year at Boston University. Cogbo Back on it. Atep is back on the pitch for the Black Knights. He'll go here as Joao Suarez this season. Go to the byline. First couple of minutes, number 17 on the Terriers. That's Murray. It's Owen Murray, who's coming on for the injured Nate Cole. And he's taking this right-hand side so that De Souza can shift onto the left-hand side of the center backs pairing.
Really, no speed, no energy from the Terriers. They're still playing like they're ahead.
Murray gets his first big boot into the ball. Florian Rider picks it up at the halfway mark. So Ethan Rosen, who is a winger and is playing as a deep line playmaker. He's dropped into the midfield to get the ball more as Boston University struggled to connect it. Miles DeKeko will take a throw in, slightly past the halfway point on the left-hand side for the Boston University Terriers. Rosen flung for the ball, he doesn't get it. An Army, the coaching staff is egging them on to find a winner, saying, stay up there, don't worry about this, we'll get this up. Minute and a half remaining in the regular season. Army looking for their first non-loss. Is there can't be overtime. It's regular season.
Yeah, I don't believe there would be overtime.
Because if you look at the Patriot League standings, there are no ties in the record. So either there have been no ties or they don't make ties. Schweikert sends it up. Rosen battling with John Ponce, but Ponce is the victor here. Sends it to Nick Atkinson, who's back on the pitch. Atep Sikazwe barreling up with him. A couple body feints from Atkinson led into a tumble, and he's fouled Florian Rider. Taken quickly here by Murray to Cogbo, who clears it out wide to Aiden Holmes and try to get it before it goes out, and he does. Finds Lockbiller, but it's cut off by Schweikert, and that is the story of the day. And now Holmes is injured. 30 seconds left. Boston University limping towards a 1-1 draw. Holmes fully on the ground now.
Looks like it might be a knee issue.
This might be the game. Patriot League does not stop the clock. They cannot do at a time. They have stopped the clock. 30 seconds left.
But what you meant is they don't add stoppage time.
Yes. Syracuse ready to jump on for the last half minute of this match. A poor showing from Boston University in the second half specifically.
Especially in the second half. I would say the first half, they definitely had a lot more opportunities, a little bit more rhythm. In the second half, I couldn't even tell you a single play they made. They've been absolutely dominated by this Army team.
Now coming off himself. So he'll get his last home game potentially as a senior from the bench. This was a game that could have put Boston University in contention for seeding in the Patriot League playoffs. We don't know how the Patriot League is going to determine that with so many canceled games, but winning this would have helped them. Unless they can get a goal in the last 5 seconds, that looks to not be the case. Ball is cleared. And the game is over. Boston University draw with Army 1-1. Following a free kick, Carter Kalewski with his left boot into the near post. The referee storming off the team. Oh, I thought he was yelling at him. I thought he was going to retroactively regulate somebody. Wait. I think we are going extra time.
Yeah, it's the end of regulation, so I think we might be going into overtime, boys.
We might see that. We'll be right back. We'll make sure for you. Do not go away. We are headed to overtime. The last meeting between these two teams ended in overtime as well, with Army eking out a 2-1 win. It's 1-1 right now as both teams take the field. Boston University gearing up to huddle. Could be the last game of the season. This is a disciplined, stocky Army team, not having a lot of luck in the Patriot League so far, but has taken Boston University to overtime. Syracuse, who subbed on with 30 seconds left for University, is staying on the pitch as the U kicks off the first half of extra time. Boston University kickoff is Peter Cogbo. Switches the ball. Joao Suarez de Souza kind of gets caught at his feet, sends it. That's a cheap giveaway by Matt Stone. It's Carter Kowalski. Oscar Pereira will try to control it, but it's stopped by Ethan Rosen. Smiles to Keiko playing as a makeshift left back. He's caught by Kowalski, tripped. Slow to get up. First 10-minute half. Extra time. Owen Murray came on for the injured Nate Cole, still playing at center back, so Cole is probably too injured to continue. Oscar Pereira at the halfway circle for Army. Hoffman sends a long ball towards Atef. Stopped by Cogbo. But Army are in here. Anthony Brown has the ball in the box, tries to send it into the middle. And there's a foul called. Number 17, Joey Hickson. John Ponce. Owen Murray on the right-hand side sends it long up to Lockbiller. He's gone out full of Boston University fan. Hoffman clears it into Boston University's half. Matt Stone comes out, heads it, and the goal's open, and it's narrowly missed by Carter Kowalski through a bizarre header by Matt Stone. He has his hand up in apology. The ball was coming towards him, but wasn't going into the box as fast as Army's forward was approaching it, and so he decided to head, went straight to the boot of Carter Kowalski, who had an open net, missed it. Long foot, to be fair to the number 11. Atef Sakazwe backing up on Peter Cogbo and winning a throw-in. Ball's thrown by Nick Atkinson. Murray chases, collects. Sakazwe on his back. Murray wins a throw-in.
And just a reminder for the people listening, we are now in overtime. It is a golden goal overtime. So the first team that scores will win the game. If no team scores at the end of the 2 half overtime periods, then the game is declared a draw.
Interesting. So no penalty shootout.
No penalty shootout, only if it was a playoff game.
Interesting. The ball is kicked into the referee. Says, my bad. Gives the ball to Boston University for a free kick. So I want everyone to calm down. Drop off, excuse me. Joao Suarez and Souza back to Owen Murray. It's a little bit of a heavy touch here. Nonetheless, finds Peter Cogbo. Gets it to Ethan Rosen. Ball is cleared by Army. John Ponce to chase. 17. And it's number 17 on Boston University, Owen Murray. It's an Army throw-in. The edge of the box extended.
Holding goal is always a tricky spot to be because the strategy of the game changes completely.
Eden. Loose touch by Hoffman leads to an Army thrown after Zion Balogun tried to deflect it, and Athletics Castaway cannot keep it in, so it would be another throw for Boston University. Chicago on this right-hand side of theirs. You see the strategy completely changes. What is Boston University going to try to do here?
You need to attack. Army, while Army has been on the offensive this entire last half, the Terriers need to not play defense. They need to not play defense. They need to get people up and attack.
They were able to snag that early goal, once they can replicate an opportunity like that. But as of right now, Army has had most possession in the first overtime period. Anthony Brown, high. Tricky for Matt Stoney to read the flight of that ball very well, but it went over his crossbar for a goal kick.
Also, the sun is in Matt Stone's eyes this half.
Much harder for him to get engaged on things, likely explains the head debacle that happened a couple minutes earlier. Stone will take this. Booted towards the halfway circle. Austin Pereira rising highest. D'Souza wrestling off John Ponce. Head out for Boston University throwing around halfway point. Miles DeKetiko shifted into this left back position. That's another center mid. Both of Boston University's wing backs playing are center mids by trade. DeKetiko throws it in. Booted upwards by Eden. Controlled by Pereira only as far as walkable. Came in and stayed in early in the second half. Jacob Sutton collects. 4 minutes left in this first period.
The last little bit of sun leaning to the left half of the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the setting sun is kind of the brightest when you're off the field. So that is tricky for the Terriers who are looking into the sun.
Cogbo with the throw. Boston University marching up this right-hand side, earning throw-ins, getting farther up the pitch.
Having better momentum right now than they did all of last half.
Ball's booted towards Boston University's defending side. Joao Suarez D'Souza sending it back to Matt Stone as Army chases out Jefferson Causeway. Pressing up on Paco. It's cleared. Move offside. Zion Balogun coming from an offside position to challenge for that header. Free kick for Army and mid Atkinson. Awkward here, but Matt Stone's able to get the ball. Looking for the throw, but wasn't able to get it. Matt Stone clearly frustrated with his players. Hoofs the ball on instead. Marshall losing out on the header to Eden. Cogbo so too with Sukazwa. Blackbird trying to fight for the ball. Ethan Rosen winning it in this deep lying center mid position. He's found himself, but usually plays on the wing, but not today. DeKetiko in the shining sun. This is Rosen. Clips the ball into the box. It's headed out by Whiteman, who's been a strong force in the air. Balogun fighting number 7 on number 7 with Sukazwa. Hoffman comes up in double teams. Boston University's bench protesting something, and the referee gives a free kick the other way.
Causeway does have the coolest speeds on the pitch. I know I was an advocate for the black ones, but those bright red ones, those are doing something.
He's a number 7. I mean, I don't know many number 7s who played straight. Long ball, D'Anthony Brown to chase for Army, but DeKetiko will poke it out for a throw-in with a minute left. In this overtime period, into the substitution we made. Those shorts don't match D'Anthony. What's the red doing there? D'Anthony Brown skips past Syracuse. The ball's in the box. Awkward for Matt Stone again, but has gone out for an Army corner kick with 45 seconds left. Riley. Tabbering again.
I know. The Terriers love giving up set pieces right before the end of halves.
Oscar Pereira to take with his right boot, so he'll be in swinging. High. The top of the box. And just tipped out by Matt Stone. What a save that was. Coleman is down in the box. Referee's asking for medical attention immediately. Looks like he got taken in the face. And that should be the end of the first period. Lockbiller coming into contact with, not Coleman, number 6, Riley Schweikert, who took something to the face. Army will get another chance at a corner kick, even though time has expired. They stop the clock. Ethan Rosen wiling up his team to make sure that they do not make another mistake in the last throws of a period of play.
But as you see, number 10 is not being goal marked. The Army player by the keeper is not being goal marked. They're kind of leaving players open right now in their box.
Kowalewski will take it.
They're going with the number 1.
Something from the training ground, perhaps, and it's clipped high, long by number 17, John Ponce. The potential to be an incredible piece of play as the first period of overtime comes to a close. We'll be right back with the second period. The determinant of this battle between Patriot League last place and second to last place, West Point Black Knights and Boston University Terriers, respectively. The second half of overtime set to commence. The setting sun, the West Point Black Knights going towards the goal in which they scored in a little under 10 minutes remaining in the second half. A gorgeous free kick by Carter Berlowski. Hoffman belts this ball into Peter Cogbo's right-hand territory. And Army get a quick throw-in up the pitch. Nick Atkinson takes Oscar Pereira on the right-hand side, you see him on the left for most of the game, working with Peter Cogbo. Getting around a couple players before Ryder clears it. Good touch there by Ronaldo. 5 players closest to him all Army. Did a great job flipping it on to Zion Balogun. Zion Balogun was able to get there. It's a good play by Ronaldo. Clearly has desire in him.
And for those of you just tuning in, games time on
And the ball has gone out for an Army flip, or public, excuse me.
the games time 1-1 here in the second half of overtime, the last half of overtime. Things go to the goal. So if the team scores, they will win the game. And if no one scores at the end of this 10 minutes, then the game will be a draw.
Army asking all the questions here. Early from the kick. Oscar Pereira to take with his right boot. Ball's headed straight out. Still in the box. A couple bounces. Cleared by Connor. Back toward Atkinson. Zion Balogun sends it back. To Bailey Schweiker. It's to be Atkinson. Oscar Pereira. It's out of character error by letting the ball run out. They probably think they're checking into a little bit. Ball bouncing around a bit, it passes Ryder. The Cogbo into play. Lockwood will try to win this header. He does. But I like the Syracuse who's chasing.
Ball spending a lot of time in the air so far.
Ethan Rosen tries to get the one-time over. Doing all the good. Not working. Foul on Army, trying to intervene with that pass. Sebastian Wilson will have a free kick. You have to. Souza. Foul again. We're on the same spot. Fosse University out of breath. Like very slowly. Cogbo clicking his answer.
Well, this is the most play we've seen from them all season so far, the longest.
Murray steps in. Pressing. Joe Hickson.
The fitness levels of both teams are being tested right now, and especially in a season so affected by COVID-19, game cancellations and not being able to practice. It's really going to come to light which teams in shape and which teams are not.
My guess is the team that has to be in the Army in better shape.
That is true.
My guess is the literal cadets on the pitch. I think I got to take the throw from Boston University. He's looking Troy. That's a long throw. And as far as Eden, Whiteman will clear here. Finds Nick Atkinson. Chased down by both Zion Balogun and Lockwood. Lockwood with a late tackle. The referee blows the whistle. Take your time.
Seems like Army has renounced some less than the Terriers.
Yeah,
Straight up off most of them.
absolutely.
Which is interesting considering that 40% of the military said they would not take the vaccine.
That is interesting. Oscar Pereira is able to keep it in. Point with Peter Cogbo here. Sends the ball into the box. It's collected by Kowalski. Tries to get a quick turnaround and shot on. Good defending by Souza is able to clear his lines very well. And as far as Eden, Boston was pinned into their own half. It's a great ball, but the Anthony Bell will not be able to get it before it goes out for a Matt Stone goal kick with half of the second period of overtime having been played. Boston University not connecting a lot. It seems like they're going for this draw because I do not know where it goes.
Yeah, neither team Army much more so, but neither team is pressing the way they were either in the first half or the second half. Both teams just seem very tired. I'm sure they both want the game to end in one way or the other at this point.
So, Watts is looking into the head right now. Up by Lockwood. Second time. Lockwood will chase. They'll head out for another throw and throw. Even the throwing
There's been a lot of throws
100
this
is
year.
yeah, if you ground throwing it, it's only kind of as far as North Kaiko. You can move these out to Coleman. The pressing is now being done by the Sudan Army. With Souza bringing up the Mount Stone, sends it up to the halfway point, Hoffman heading it back. And Coleman is coming from the outside position to receive the ball. So therefore, continued. That's what you see too. If you could, go no rush. Stone. Farewell by Eden. As far as Lockboy. Cleared by Dan Anthony Brown. Headed by Cogbo. Rosen heading it backwards to Dekeiko, flips it over. As far as Hoffman takes the ball out of the air. It's pressed by Lockboy. Army getting some good play down on his right hand side of theirs. Carries up the ball, went out, and it's another throw in for Miles Dekeiko on the left hand side. I don't know if either team knows what the plan is.
Yeah, I think either team is just kind of, walking to the finish line right now.
Looking even. The Army are asking the questions here. Joey Hickson trying to split the defense and play Schweikert in, unable to, but Hoffman showing some lively signs. This is Coleman will get to the byline. It's going to cross in. It's blocked by Joao Suarez de Souza. Get another bite of the apple. Tries to juke out De Souza, and it's unsuccessful. De Souza trying to play out the back. Really lost by Dekeiko. Dekeiko is gassed.
Dekeiko is tired.
He lost the ball on his defensive third and barely jogged to the forward that he gave it to. Now Army have a chance at a long throw. Schweikert asking for the ball. Jesus, this man's muscular.
This man looks like he's tired.
Ball in the air. Eventually cleared by Lockboy. Army throw, 2 minutes left in the period. Schweikert will take again. Another long throw into the box. Altef trying to clip it. Unsuccessful against the Mount Stone.
Team barely jogging.
Going wider, try to pass, but it's deflected by Coleman. Rosen just clips it into the Army half. Elegant chasing. Supia wafting it into the air for Boston University throwing.
And this is kind of the first time during the second half of overtime that we've seen the Terriers in this half of their line.
Absolutely. Maybe they can get something out of it. Lockbow checks in, Zion checks in. Peter Cogbo lets it throw to Ryder, but it's intercepted. Ball's in the air now. Coleman heads it going as far as Rosen. Murray. D'Souza almost losing out, but not so. Excuse me, Keiko. That was D'Souza clipping the ball. It's Zion Balogun, but it's stopped by Nick Atkinson. Cogbo back to Zion again. Nick Atkinson is there. Oscar Pereira now. Cogbo again clearing it. And Supia will grab the ball with 40 seconds left. We are nearing an overtime draw. What was the point of overtime? Dekeiko against Atef. Maybe one last chance here. D'Souza coming in at the very last minute to stop Atef from digging on goal. This is Lockboy does well. Sits down. Number 6, Bradley Schweikert has been all over the place. Ronaldo Marshall with a kind of heavy touch. Has been clipped. Jumped in pain. Oscar Pereira not getting it. And everybody looking tired. as this game winds to an undramatic, solitary close. Everyone is mad. No one is happy.
No
The
one
game
is
is
happy.
over.
Everyone's tired. The game is over.
Final score: West Point Black Knights won. Boston University Terriers won. Nickerson ends regular season with a draw. Boston University ends their regular season with a record of 1-1-2. I have been Armand Manukian.
I'm Riley Millier.
Thank you for listening.